Hello everybody, VG Time here, bringing you my first video of 2022. Now this week I'm going to be bringing you a alternative to the Gohan Icarus deck as far as like a yellow leader is concerned. That I think has a lot of cool tools to it that gives you advantages that Gohan Icarus doesn't necessarily give you. So without further ado, we're just going to hop right into it. We have the Son Goku leader, affectionately called Helku. So what this guy does is pretty cool. Of course, he swings and draws. The other thing he does is if you reveal a card on the top of your deck, it gets sent to the drop and it is played by its own effect. Assuming you have 2 or more energy, you're allowed to untap one, draw one, take life down to 5 and flip them over to the back. He also has a regular awakening at 4 or less life to draw to. And on the back side, this is where the magic kind of happens. So on swing, he allows you to draw 2, take a card from your hand, put it to the top of your deck. It gives you like some cool card selection, but on top of that, it allows you to do some pretty cool things when you consider matchups like hand control and things like that. Like if you know that they're gonna make you lose cards, you can put the right cards on top of your deck so that you don't lose them on the following turn, and then it comes back to you, you draw the card you need to turn the game around. It's all kinds of cool stuff you can do with it. Main purpose though is to set up the activate main that allows you to spirit boost and reveal the top card of your deck and send it to the drop, which then triggers other card skills. It has another activate main that says that you get to add the Android 18 Unison from your deck to your hand, and then you negate the skills for the game. Alright, so speaking of the Android 18 Unison, we do play 4 of it. Sadly, I don't have 4 SPR, I have 2 regulars, 2 SPR. But basically, this card is the heartbeat because it allows you to have great control over what you draw for the turn, which is the reason why I kind of like this deck. So the +2 allows you to look at the top 3 cards of your deck and put them back in any order. The -2 is also really strong, which allows you to draw 2 and put 2 back. The game I came from, they call it a brainstorm effect. Similarly, as I mentioned before, it has a lot of the same powers as the leader attack. You get to stow cards on top of your deck, keep cards that are less powerful in your hand. If they hit you with the hand control, you don't care. As well as allows you to set up the top of your deck for triggers and things of that nature. It does have an auto once per turn that is outside of its Unison effects. That says that when you spirit boost, you get to choose one of your opponent's battle cards and switch it to rest mode. So you spirit boost and with your leader, there's another card in the deck that spirit boosts. So you're able to trigger things like Poutine and Bergamo and things like that. All right. Next up, speaking of the engine, we don't really run a large one. So first we run 4 of this trunks. This guy right here, when he is revealed and he goes to the drop, he plays himself, he draws a card, and he takes a card from your hand and put it on top of your deck. You can also just play him for 1 to draw a card and put it on top of your deck. And then he has activate main once per turn. The same thing as the activate main once per turn spirit boost on your leader. Both of them are spirit boost skills. When you just reveal the top card, place it in your drop area. More than once. Then we have 4 copies of this Goku right here. This guy right here is pretty beastly. He has deflect, and you could pay yellow to have him come into play and KO on an opponent's battle card in rest mode. 20k double striker for 1 energy is always good. Now, because our leader is a yellow Saiyan, one of the benefits is that we get to play 3 copies of Turles All Too Easy. If you're not aware of what he does, if you happen to have 3 or more energy and your leader is Yellow Saiyan, you may pay 2 to play this guy. He could choose, he KOs a guy in rest mode, then you could choose to either KO another guy in rest mode or draw a card, both of which are high value. 20k double striker, just like this guy right here is. Now, we are running, of course, the 4 Goku and the 4 Riposte. These are like yellow staples, not necessarily at 4, but they're yellow staples. You kind of have to run them if you have access to them. Of course, there's other options you can run over Riposte or even as Goku, like lower power versions, or in some cases, even higher power versions, depending on how you look at things. Then we played 2 copies of the Krillin Super Combo, where he's getting yoked up by Garlic Jr. Just a good generic super combo. So next up, I'm going to get into the next package, which is what makes it a little slightly different than your regular Yellow Icarus deck, which is we get to play 4 copies of this Turles Xeno. This card right here is absolutely savage. You could rival him, yellow-green, pay a single yellow to play him, and if your leader card is yellow, which it is, you get to KO a 4 or less battle card. Doesn't matter what mode is in. Also, when you play this guy, you draw a card. So he replaces the card you used to play him, and he pops a guy. He's also a blocker. This deck has to protect his Unison, so the fact he's able to block is pretty good as well, along with the Goku. Of course, in order for us to rival effectively, we need enablers. So we played 2 copies of Chillai, who also has other effects other than enabling this guy right here. Super combo, able to rest one of your opponent's Unisons or leaders, as well as if it's on your turn and they have a skillless battle card, you could KO that card. We also played 3 copies of this Android 13. This guy right here is, again, pretty savage. If your leader is yellow, you get to combo him for free, which allows you to enable this guy right here. He also has a rival himself. You don't really do that too often, but he is able to, as an activate battle, if he's on the field, to add combo power to one of your combo cards. Then lastly, for the green-yellow, we run our ultimate, the Wicked Saiyans. This card right here has grew on me significantly. Basically, if you look at it on this plain surface, it's like this cool, defensive card. But it's actually great on offense as well as defense. It's not just purely a defensive card, and that's what I kind of like about it. Now we're going to get into the extra cards. 2 copies of Final Flash. Typically, we don't have an issue removing anything unless it has a barrier. So Final Flash plus Chillai deals with anything. If it's in rest mode, Final Flash plus Turles or this dude could deal with most things. If they're coming at you and they're lacking, like they're swinging and they're going in on a slug for something, you go Final Flash into this Turles and deal with it. There's all kinds of cool things you could do with Final Flash, as well as just turning off annoying effects. For a copy of his signature card, A Trip to Hell. This card right here allows you to do one of 2 things. You gotta activate main and pay a yellow to draw 2 and put 1 back, which is very strong in its own right. Or you could just activate main, limit 1, reveal the top card of your deck, and place it into the drop. So if you were able to get to the turn where you have 2 yellow energy or 2 energy, and you're able to manipulate this guy or this guy to the top of your deck, you're able to use this to flip it off the top, trigger your early awakening, flip them over. Also, it fuels your Riposte, as well as your Goku. It's all around a great card. Of course, going along with that, Power of the Super Saiyan. Enough said about it. Yellow Stable, great card. 2 copies of Poutine. Again, another Yellow Stable. One I think might get hit, sadly enough. But another Yellow Stable. She comes out for free if you rest anything. We already established that the Unison rest things, Power Super Saiyan rest things, Riposte rest things. So you're gonna get that Chili. You're gonna get that trigger for her more often than not. Then I decided to run 2 overwhelms. One is the Fighting Against Fate Bardock. And then, of course, Secret Identity Mass Saiyan. This is your other one right here. And then, because we can, we play Furthering Destruction Champa to help round out the list. So this is a flat 50 cards. One that I think works pretty well. I'm still tuning it though, so it might not be the very end of it, but I think this is a great starting point if you wanted to play a different Yellow Saiyan leader instead of just Gohan Icarus. So that is it for this deck profile. I have been keeping up with my live streaming. Sorry, I took a little break from YouTube. But you can catch me on Tuesdays and Sundays, where I'm playing on Tuesday in the upper hand circuit, as well as on Sunday in the stage 0 circuit on Twitch, which you'll find a link for down below if you look at my link tree. So that is it, and have a nice 2022, and it's VG Time signing out.